Hi everyone. So I am now on the Skinner Ranch here in Jordan Valley, Oregon, and I'm about to do an interview with my uncle, Bob Skinner, and we're going to dive a little bit into the more political side of grazing on public lands and grazing as a land management tool, and how the young people can get involved, where they can go, and some of the more important aspects of this discussion. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, and I will see you guys in there.
My name is Bob Skinner. We're at the Skinner Ranch in Jordan Valley, Oregon. I guess I got involved in the ranch political side, I guess you'd call it political side, probably like 45 years ago. Grazing as a land management tool is very, very important, and it's getting more important. I think it's now becoming more prevalent and more evident to the public that it's necessary for things like fire control, vegetative control, in other words, maybe weeds. They use different species for different species of grass, different species of animals for different grasses, or browse. Some of the problems, like in California, where they have recurrent, huge, gigantic, unstoppable fires, now they're starting to resort to what used to be there 100 years ago, or 50 years ago even, if you want to not go back so far, and that's that they've got to take some of that stuff out of there, or there's going to be unstoppable fires in that thing forever. It's the whole thing. It gives us a chance to get the cattle off of our private ground so we can irrigate and hay, and we're in a very pronounced 4 seasons grazing system here. We've got a very cold winter, we've got a hot summer, we've got springs that are wet, we've got falls that are dry and pretty nice weather, but if we didn't get rid of these cattle, it would be it'd be just impossible for us to put up any kind of crops to handle them, to keep them here during the winter. Well, the biggest challenge is the political side. We always put up with weather, of course. We always put up with the effects of weather. We put up with the temperature, the moisture especially. The one thing that really is hard for us to deal with is the political side, and by that I mean we have a bunch of groups that they make their living off of the grazing industry. They sue and settle. There's a law that was a really good law that was hijacked by the environmental community. It was called the Equal Access to Justice Act, and it came about with a good intention of providing people that didn't have the money to sue, that were being sued, they couldn't counter that lawsuit. So in that, the Equal Access Justice Act gave the court the right, if a entity was sued, they could use the Equal Access Justice Act to get some money back from that. And the thing is that we need to be aware of is that the environmental groups usually do not sue ranchers. They sue the government, and they're using the Equal Access to Justice Act, and they're using the law in the NEPA process and in the land use planning process. What they do is they look at that and they scrutinize, and they have a fleet of attorneys that sue, and then the government, the liberal courts, issue these huge settlements for millions of dollars. In fact, if you add them together, we know that there's billions of dollars that are going into the environmental coffers off of this, out of the taxpayer's pocket. We all struggle with getting young people to the meeting. I've been in this now for over 40 years, and every year we're concerned. It seems like the older people have the time, and they have the desire to go to the meetings. They kind of understand the politics of grazing public lands. And the young people, they just don't show up at the meetings very well. And it's those meetings, even though they try to make them really fun, they're not fun. They can, you know, you have to sit in meetings all day, and it's hard. And I don't have an answer. If I did, we'd have young people at our meetings, but every state deals with it.
All right, so you guys got to hear a little bit more of the political side of grazing, and like Bob said, we kind of need all hands on deck. This is a really important part. It is a huge discussion. It is not just about being on the ranch. It is not just about going out and looking at your operation. It is a huge political battle, and we really do need you younger people, us younger people, to be involved. That's why I am doing this. I ranch too, guys, and it's just as hard for me to do this project and ranch at the same time, but I do it because I care about the land now. I care about the land in the future for my kids and generations after me. So it really is important for all of us to be involved, whether that means going to the meetings or talking to your local representatives or whatever it is that you need to do to be involved and be informed. Paying attention on social media, what's going on, paying attention to what's going on politically, it does affect you both in and out of the ag world. It is extremely important what happens to us, not only for today, but for the future. So, thank you all for watching. Please continue to like, share, and support the project and spread awareness and continue to put the information out there. Thank you all so much for your support and for watching these videos and for all of the questions that I have been asked so far. So we'll see you at the next one. And yeah, thanks for watching.